Welcome to Redwood Wellness and Vitality. This is our move component of our wellness program. This is where we find comfortable clothing and a place where we have space to move around. Nothing fancy, just maybe a chair to support for some extra balance, some comfortable shoes for your feet, pants that you can move around with, and a nice comfortable shirt. So join me for our warm-up, grab a chair, and let's begin. We'll start with some marches to warm up our body. And as you'll notice, we don't have music on this video, and that's because we will give you the option to put some music on in the background and concentrate to my voice while you listen to music that you actually enjoy. Okay, we'll move on to arm circles backwards. Keep those legs moving. If you've come to my channel, this is a place for beginners and people that might be just starting their wellness routine again. It's a place where we find 15 minutes in our day to simply move our bodies in a way that feels good for you, that feels right for you, and is safe. We'll now move on to touching our shins and reaching up high. Touching the shins and reaching up high, getting our larger muscles a little bit of warm up. So what this exercise routine will look like is 40 seconds of hard work with 20 seconds of rest, giving our body a little bit of time to recover while we really push ourselves hard for those 40 seconds. So what that might look like for you is a little different than my speed. You might be moving faster. You might find yourself moving slower. Your movements might look a little bit different than mine, and that's okay. The whole point is that throughout this video, we're moving for the entire time. Maybe you have some pets joining you. They always find it so curious as we start to exercise. This is my dog, or my mother's dog, Dottie. Okay, so take this time to march into place, and we'll begin our workout. Use your chair for some stability. Keep your feet moving. Again, if you don't feel like you need the chair through any of these exercises, that's completely fine. This is just an option if you're feeling a little bit unstable. And we're gonna begin with high knees. So we're lifting our knees up as high as they'll go. And we're doing this for 40 seconds. So go at a pace that you can maintain. Maybe that looks a little faster or slower, but we're just trying to lift those legs up. Making sure you're breathing. You're either holding on or adding your arms in, doing a proper march. And we rest. So here we can keep our bodies moving our legs during our rest period. Our next workout will be touching our opposite knee, and I'll show you what that looks like, and you can begin with me here in about 2 seconds. So we'll bend our knee, touch the opposite knee, reach up, touch, reach up. So a little bit like a star. Again, we can make this movement deeper to get a little bit of extra movement. And as you see, I mess up the flow a little bit, so it doesn't really matter if you're keeping this pattern. It just matters that you're moving your body, getting a deeper bend if you can, and that if you feel stable. And making sure you're breathing. And we've come to our rest. Move your feet if you can, just a little bit. Let your breath come down. And our next movement will be a little side step. And we'll begin together in 3, 2, 1. So we'll go to the side, little bend if you can, come back up, side, bend. Now, if you need to kind of drag your foot in, or you can push up through your foot, whatever feels good for you. You could even do a couple steps back in. And the more stable you feel, the deeper you might be able to bend that knee. And we're just gonna keep moving, keeping your core engaged and your body light, and it's our rest break. Do a little walk in between. And so our next movement we'll begin together is a reach forward and a reach up. And we'll start together. Reach forward and squeeze back. Reach up and squeeze down. So to get the most out of this movement, it's active. So you're pretending like you're pulling a rope down or rowing a rope back, but your muscles should be very actively engaged. So it doesn't just look like you're flopping through the movements, but you're actively pulling something with a little bit of resistance. Going at a nice, comfortable speed for you. And rest. Walk it out a little bit. Our next movement will be lower body. We're open, open, in, and that will make more sense here when you join me in about 1 second. We're going open, open, in. Open, open, in. Nice thing about movement and exercise is it also can be a cognitive workout also. So again, don't worry if you mess up the footing. You're just staying moving the entire 40 seconds. Picking up the pace if you can, or slowing it down a little. Open, open, in. Slight bend in your knees. Making sure your core is engaged. And rest. A nice, steady walking pace. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. As we'll move into our kind of a half jumping jack. And we'll begin together now. So we'll open and swing our arm up. Open, swing the arm up. And once you get this movement down, speed it up. Make it challenging for you. Hopefully your heart is beginning to beat a little bit faster. Getting that 15 minutes of movement in. Keeping that core nice and tight. And rest. Nice little steady walking break. We're going to move into a lunge. So you may need your chair here for a little stability. So I have mine very accessible here, but pause this video if you need to grab one. And we'll start together. So I'm going to start with moving my right leg. So I'll take a big step forward, bend into the knee, and come back. And I have a very light grasp on this chair, keeping my belly engaged, pushing through the heel on the way back up, going at a pace that is safe for you. So make sure you have your balance in between every movement. You also can walk your foot back. And we'll rest here. Picking up that walking pace. So we slowly bring our heart rate down, and our left leg or the opposite leg of whatever was moving will do the work next. And we'll begin now. Light hand on a chair if you need, or the wall. Again, if you don't need that little extra point of stability, feel free to do a lunge without your hand being supported, or take a few times to come back. Pushing through your heel, keeping your core nice and tight, and resting. Okay, we're getting close. Take a little rest, walking, and we're going to go up, bending your arms. Sorry, I didn't give you much warning for that one, so just join me along. We're reaching up, bending down. Same concept as our last one that we did with our movement, where we're pretending like we're pulling something down with us. So it's very active. All our muscles are engaged. Your core is tight when you're reaching up, and you're breathing. We're going to give it a little shake. It's our 20-second rest. So we're going to do a little walk in between. All right, and now begin with me. Reach and reach with your arm. So step, reach, step, reach, step, reach. So we're kind of putting that side lunge together with a reach. That kind of challenges that base of support here. Keeping your stomach nice and engaged. Making sure you're breathing. The deeper the movement, the harder it is. You can go nice and shallow if you're just beginning. And we reach that 40 seconds. And we're at our last interval before our cool down. So we're really going to work as hard as we can, as much energy as we have left. So we're going to keep our legs marching. We're going to put our hands behind our head, and we're going to do a chest opener. So what you're trying to do, you bring your elbows all the way forward, squeeze your shoulder blades back. It should feel like a nice stretch for your chest. Squeezing those shoulder blades back. Opening your chest, keeping your core nice and engaged. Oh, and we've made it to our cool down. So stay with me as we walk it out, lowering our heart rate just a little bit. I hope you feel like you've had some good movement, that your heart rate got up, that you put in some nice work and effort in today with this beginning exercise routine. Now, if you're interested in what else Redwood Health and Wellness has to offer, click on our link and follow us to our website. Again, movement is just, we'll do a little bit of a hip stretch. So you're gonna push your hip forward, suck your belly in, reach up, get a good stretch. And your hip flexor here. I interrupted my thought there. But wellness is not just exercise, it's multifactorial. We also need to take care of our mind and our gut. So good nutrition, we're switching legs here, pushing this hip flexor forward and reaching up. So good nutrition and checking in with our mind, making sure we have a wellness routine. We're gonna open our chest, clasp your hands behind or just reach back if you can't reach your hands. Open your chest, little circles. And we also need community in this wellness lifestyle, and that's what we hope to bring to you here. So if you enjoyed this routine, like the video, press subscribe, leave a comment, and join us every week. We have 2 new releases on a weekly basis. Thanks again. Hope you had your heart rate moving. You got a nice movement practice in today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.